What is going on, people? Welcome to IAmChazza's Pray For Them album review. Now, earlier today I did a reaction to Dickheads, which he just dropped the video for on release day, so feel free to go and check that out first, because my opinions then are going to be slightly different from what I'm going to give now. And if you go and watch that video, it will make sense. If you already have, then you're here. And if you care to see my reaction to North Face Killer and Thoughts, those reactions are also up, and they will also be linked down in the description below. But yeah, going into this album, I was skeptical about whether IAmChazza was going to be able to bring versatility. And he pulled through to my fucking hopes. I love IAmChazza. I love the content that he brings, but sometimes it can seem very, very repetitive here in the same kind of style. Although he touches on different subject matters, it can feel the very samey, oldie. That's not a phrase, but we're going to run with it. But we're not starting off strong, and this is where I was really worried. We've got the first track of the album, Doubt Me. I did not like this track. Instantly, before he even spit a lyric, it sounded like Dave and Fredo's Funky Friday, which went #1 in the UK. It's a huge hit. There's no hiding where Menace drew inspiration from. And so I thought he was just going to sample the beat, but from the minute he starts spitting, he copies Dave's flow and cadence, which I think from his perspective, he's doing it as paying homage rather than biting his style. And if he didn't sample the Funky Friday beat, or at least create a beat that was very, very similar, I would accuse him of copying, literally copying and biting Dave. I'll do a very, very quick 5-second side-by-side comparison here.
At this age, how are them man still hating?
See, in this game, how are these raps still faking?
But the fact that it is sampled or very similar to Funky Friday, and then the fact that IAmChazza copies that same flow, he's made it very apparent he's aware of what the song is, and he's making you aware that what kind of formula he's following along here. And it's a good song, but I can't shake that out of my mind, and it makes the track feel very unoriginal, which is unlike Menace, because he creates very unique and original content, in my opinion, especially with tracks like North Face Killer that we've already heard before the album dropping. And so for him to open up with this track, I just felt like it was the wrong choice. It didn't feel like an intro track. It didn't feel like something that Menace originally created. 50% of it already belongs to Dave, in my opinion, and just I weren't impressed. Then you had North Face Killer, and then you had Dickheads, and so 3 songs in, I was worried. North Face Killer being a very good track, Dickheads being a good track, but again, that same old kind of formula, and I was worried at this point. I was really like, I don't like this album at this point. By the way, I don't know if you class this as an album, because it's 8 tracks. I mean, that's a long EP. And I mean, an EP is up to about 7 tracks in my opinion, and an album is a minimum of 9. I think 8 is just this weird in between. But then he pulls through with 2 bangers, in my opinion, with Losing Interest and No Good For You, both with features from Jacqueline Marie and LDS respectively. Losing Interest had me hooked instantly from that chorus. Like, Jacqueline Marie fucking smashes it, and it was a switch up in the album that I feel was very needed, and it does it in the right way. It brings in this acoustic, very natural and organic feel to it, and I think the natural acoustics of the track naturally represents Menace being very transparent and being very organic himself, you know? I feel like that is a transparency that really works. Not hiding or manipulating anything. Like, that guitar is what it is. And the same way IAmChazza's words and even Jacqueline's words, they are what they are. Like, there's no covering it up with any manipulation, any of that. It felt very down to earth. It felt very honest, and I really enjoyed this track. And despite me saying about like the acoustic feel, I definitely feel like it's one of them tracks that could have had the acoustic bit, and then maybe for the last hook had like an EDM breakdown or an EDM kind of drop. I feel like that could have worked, but it definitely didn't need it. I just feel like that would have been a nice touch. And No Good For You, I mean, LDS, it's funny because a couple people have mentioned him and have sent me his work, and I kind of just commented on the Instagram. I was just like, yeah, he's dope, but I never like reached out to him. I never publicly covered anything. And so when somebody was like, oh yeah, he's on IAmChazza's album, I was like, oh, I'll definitely keep an extra ear out for him. I can't lie, LDS, you smashed this. And Menace gives the credit this credit's due as well, because he snaps on this first verse, like proper goes in, and I really respect that verse. And again, that guitar, I'm not sure if it's played live or whether it's sampled, but that guitar paired with the trappy 808s, I really enjoyed it. And it is tied together by that hook that LDS brings, and it really highlights how good he is, how he has these voice inflections, how he delivers certain lines, like it's definitely the opposite of being monotone. He has so much dynamic ish in his voice, and it's just, oh man, it really shines through. Then you got Still No Trust, which I feel slightly indifferent on. I mean, Menace's verse is solid. The hook is a little bit lackluster in my opinion. And Cursor's verse, Cursor can do better than that. And it's not like it's a bad song. It's not like Curse or Joanna did a bad job. I don't know. I feel like they were going for more of a laid back feel, but I don't feel like they executed as well as it could have been. Like, it's one of them tracks that I go, yeah, it's good. I don't have much to dig out about it, but I also don't have much to praise it on. It just feels like one of them tracks that I feel in limbo on. Maybe over time I'd grow to like it a bit more, but first time listening, I don't know. It was just there. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. It was just there. I wouldn't skip it, but I wouldn't go out of my way to add it to a playlist. I'd recognize the track when it comes on, but I wouldn't go out of my way to learn all the lyrics to. It just exists. One thing I will praise on this though is I like the lengthier verses. It allowed these artists to really tell their story and talk about their experiences with drugs and the people around them that maybe have drug use as well. So I really like the fact that they had lengthier verses to really have the canvas to paint their artwork, basically. Then we had Deep Ends, which benefited massively from the 3 previous tracks to break that pattern, as I was talking about. And I feel like if Deep Ends was at the start of this album, I wouldn't have enjoyed it as much. But the fact that it was broken up by that versatility, by something different, I actually quite enjoyed it. That darker, grittier style that we know Menace for, like that I'm in the mud kind of shit, which is reminiscent of North Face Killer, you know? Snappy delivery, barring out, nothing too crazy, but some nice slick lines in there. I love the line that might have a reason or 10. Again, it's nothing lyrically crazy, but I don't know, just that resonated with me. You got the wheel up there for me. You got the wheel up. We were fully pulling faces at that moment. And it makes me wonder that if a track like Dickheads was mixed in, let's say, in between Losing Interest and Good For You, let's say Losing Interest and Dickheads switched round in the order, I might have enjoyed both of them tracks even more than I already do. I don't know. I feel like the ordering of tracks is very important, and I don't know if I just have a weird personal preference or whether some of these artists are just getting it wrong, in my opinion, of course. But I feel like the ordering's wrong on this. I would swap Doubt Me and North Face Killer round. I would swap Losing Interest and Dickheads round. Actually, no, I think that's how I'd leave it. But I'd swap them round. And I know it sounds really weird, but I'm a person who likes to listen to albums in the order that they're structured in, because I believe that's the way to take in certain songs as it tells a story. The problem is, this isn't a conceptual album by Menace. It doesn't link in with each other in any way, shape, or form, in my opinion. Not that I can tell anyway. Maybe my itty bitty brain is not comprehending the hidden message across these 8 tracks, but I just don't feel like the order matters that much in terms of the content of what he's saying in the song. So now we're just talking about creating that roller coaster effect, and it has this high, a big drop, and then raises up at the end, and that's not bad, but I feel like we could have created a bit more dynamic. See, what is the word I'm looking for? But overall, there is a good balance across this project. Like, there is the content now. I feel like it just needs to be slightly restructured. That is the only thing I'd say about the album and how it's presented to us as a package. And the best 2 tracks on the album, for me personally, is Losing Interest and No Good For You, which some people might be like, oh, they're his more mainstream sounding tracks. They are the tracks that are just more polished. And maybe I enjoy them because it's something different that Menace is delivering. And yeah, they're definitely my favorite 2 tracks. Deep Ends will probably be my 3rd place one. Oh, I didn't say much about Thoughts, which is the outro track. Well, I just did a reaction recently. Like, my opinion's pretty much the same there. I apologize if the video's been choppy or lagging at all. It's OBS is bugging today for some reason. I've ordered a new graphics card. It's on its way. But yeah, overall, I quite enjoy this project. As I said, the first bit I was not enjoying, and I was really worried about where this was going to go. But the second half of this definitely picks up for it, and in the end, I turned out to really enjoy this. But either way, guys, let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Feel free to check out my track with Shook. It is out right now. Ours is the outro track on a new album Time. And yeah, I appreciate you guys for going and checking that one out too. I appreciate you guys for all the support recently, as always. And yeah, I'll talk to you, man, later.